My name is Sifu David Ross, and I'd like to welcome you to the new martial revolution and the Lion's Roar martial arts system. On here you're going to find weekly lessons introducing you to the method. We're going to start off with some basic technique and keep building on it, building on it, building on it. You'll have eventually an entire curriculum on here. And later on, what we'll do is we'll be offering seminars if you want to train this in person. And at those seminars, there'll also be certifications. So if you want to get certification and ranking through this.
Basic blocks and getting to the habit of blocking and countering. We're not heavy bags. We don't just block, 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 block. So, if Tim throws first basic round kick to my thigh, right, he's targeting my thigh, he's not targeting my hip. Kicking my butt is an expression, it's not a martial art technique. When he does that, what I want to do is pick my knee up to block it. I want to use my knee and my shin, and that's why we're wearing shin guards so that he doesn't mess up his shin by kicking my knee. But notice I don't pick it up here. If I pick it up here, he's still going to actually hit my leg, and he's going to actually spin me around. I got to open my hip in. I'm kind of meeting him halfway. I'm kind of checking his leg. I always say the best basic counterpunch that you always have at the beginning is just right cross. So we're basically going to just block and cross. He's going to come, block, come down, cross. Right? He can either he's giving me the glove as a target. Boom. That's not how he'd block it. That's him helping me do the drill. If he was blocking it, he would block it with his other hand. Exactly. You can decide whether you want to just help the guy work or you want to work your side also. In other words, he could just be drilling me, in which case every time I come, he gives me the glove to punch. That's him helping me work out. If we're both working at the same time, he'll kick, come back, and be ready to block my cross. I happen to prefer those drills. I like when both sides are working because it helps me work my defense and countering, and it helps him work his offense without forgetting that there's always a counterattack coming back. Sometimes people get too aggressive. They attack, 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 and they forget that there's defense involved. So, he comes low, check, cross. If he comes to my body, my ribs, I use my elbow. Just drop it a little bit. I don't want to drop my hand, because if I drop my hand, it opens up the side of my face. I keep my chin down, I just drop my elbow a little bit. I don't turn, because if I turn, when he comes in, he actually kicks me in the spine and the kidney. I just drop the elbow, and then cross. Now, the one thing you'll notice is that I always teach my guys to kick and pull their leg back. He kicks and pulls his leg back. So that when I have to cross, it's not going to land. I always have to shuffle in if I want to counter. Same thing when he goes low. I check. I have to shuffle in. I teach that specifically because if the guy doesn't shuffle in, you're safe. A lot of other schools, for whatever reason that they have, but the one danger of it, they kick and they step down. Like they do drills where they go across the floor. If he kicks and steps down, he's stepping right into my cross. That's why we don't do that. Low, I block, I shuffle in and cross. He kicks middle, I block, I shuffle in and cross. And then I do the same thing to him. I throw the kick, he blocks, and comes in, cross it. I throw the body kick, boom, and cross it. Alright, if something is coming at you, you've got to block it. Right? You can't just say, oh, oops. But blocking and hitting back, we kind of sometimes call it caveman fighting, because it's like I block and I hit, I block and I hit. You block and you hit. And sometimes also, you don't even get an opportunity to do that, because like I said, he pulls his kick back, so if he goes low and he comes back, nothing says he can't keep attacking me off of that. Boom, boom, boom. If he's smart, that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to throw that kick and pull it right back and go back into his stance so he can do more stuff. Even if he doesn't, remember I said that I have to shuffle in to get to him. So let's say he's not a smart fighter, but he just knows how to pull his leg back. Boom. It's going to take me a second to come in. That's the second of recognition where then maybe he can throw his own counter as I come in. Boom. This is why in Sanda we have catches. Because this is the best way to make sure that he's not going to do anything and that you're going to get a good position where you could do something to him and you can't do something to me. Now, when we do the low one, for example, the obvious disadvantage of doing this is when I'm doing this, how many legs am I standing on? Just one. Right? So even if I want to hit him, I have to put the foot down before I get a chance to do this. So that's why some people don't pick up their legs. But then the mistake they make is that they stay in optimum range to get hit. Optimum range means that he thinks I'm here, so he's lining up his kick so that it will reach its maximum power when it's hitting my thigh. So you'll see guys do this. He'll kick, they'll eat a horrible kick to the leg, and as he's pulling back, then they'll punch. Or they'll eat the horrible kick to the leg and they'll punch. Okay, I hit him. And then after 2 of these, my leg starts going like this. This is not the correct way to do this technique. What you got to do, like somebody swings a baseball bat at you, right? You don't wait until the bat hits you. You come in on it before I get a chance to like hit you. So it's the same thing. When he comes with that kick, I want to come in. Also, since I'm throwing across straight, if I'm throwing it straight and I'm moving forward and it's all going on a straight line, what's going to hit first? The cross or the kick that's coming in an angle? In a circle? The cross, okay, yeah. So that people scratch their head and go, I don't know which one. Right, straight line. So at the beginning, sometimes we don't even worry about the catch. We just work that when he comes to the leg kick, I come straight in. For practice purposes, punch the shoulder. Obviously, if you're fighting, you punch the face. If you punch the face with your partner, you're not going to have a partner. You're not going to like you. He's going to leave and go like the son of a bitch. So punch the shoulder. Just as he comes in, shuffle in and punch the shoulder. As he comes, come in and punch shoulder. Don't let him kick you without movement and do this. Because you can see it. I'm eating the kick then. I don't want to eat the kick. I want to catch him before. And the other thing I said earlier, remember, was that half of your power is the shoulder. Don't just kick with just your hip, right? I've already corrected this weekend a couple of people that have had this problem. So if I'm punching him and he can't turn his shoulder, the kick is going to be less powerful anyway. So you've got 3 or 4 factors working toward you getting more power, you getting there first, and his kick not having power. So when the kick comes in, just pop. Right? When the kick comes in, just pop. Straight in. That's the next thing we're going to work. The secret to doing this technique is coming in straight and using your momentum. In other words, I'm not waiting for him to kick me in the thigh and then countering. I'm coming in. Usually what I say is that it's very important to coordinate this front shuffle with your left leg with the punch. Right? And second, keep your punch straight. To keep your punch straight, 2 things. Keep your elbow down and in. Remember, we did an overhand yesterday. But an overhand was designed to make him bring his hands up really straight. It really wasn't designed to, like, hurt him. So, with an overhand, yeah, you pick up your elbow. But again, that's not what we're doing here. We're throwing across, straight in. Keep your elbow down, and also think about punching from your nose, straight in and back. Now, to make this a catch, this is a great counter just in and of itself. Guy goes to kick, and you just come in, bam. To make it a catch, I've got to obviously catch the leg. Now, if I see him kicking my thigh, and I know he's kicking my thigh, I don't have to, like, try to figure out where his kick is going to be. It's going to be right there. I didn't look down, right? Don't do this. Come from here, over. Now remember, I'm still doing this with the counter, so I'm still shuffling in, throwing the cross, and doing this. Shuffle in, throw the cross, and then do this. So what happens is, when the kick comes, boom. When the kick comes, I'm coming in, boom. I don't have to look down. Everybody looks down at the beginning. The problem with looking down is sometimes you look down into the kick. Boom. You don't need to look. You know where the kick is going to be. It's going to be there. Now, I'm not going to do this to Tim because I don't want to hurt him, but the easiest thing to do from here, it's called plowing. You just pick up your plow and you plow the field. Yeah. Come in. Boom. Don't leave his leg down. He's going to realize as soon as you grab his leg that he wants to put his leg down. If you leave it close to the floor, he's going to put it down. You got to pick it up. And the easiest way to pick it up also is to push his head down. Because if I just push his head, his weight is going to go back anyway. So, I'm pushing and I'm pulling. And I step to add to my momentum. Boom. Usually this is just enough. If it's not, then you can come underneath with this arm. That one I'll do on Tim lightly. You know, I get him here, and if I feel like he's a heavy leg and he's trying to put it down, I may come under this way. Then of course it's wrestling. It's like a single leg takedown. I can turn, I can spin, I can put it in and run the pipe. I can hook the leg out. There's a Chinese one where if you don't want to get your legs off the ground, it's called a hand block. I have him here. Once I get him up, this can take out the leg, as opposed to, you have like a sotogari, but this is like with the hand. It's a hand throw.